In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Welcome, my dear grade 9 students. This is a new lesson from Module 10. 10A Speak, 10B Vocabulary. It's in your students' book pages 107 and 108. Workbook page 106. First, let's illustrate the lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to act out some conversations responding to imaginary situations. Recognize some idioms describing feelings. Let's start our lesson by going to Students' Book page 107, Exercise 4, Speak. In this exercise, you are going to talk in pairs, but you are going to go to the Speaking Activities section on page 117. On Students' Book page 117, you will find the following task. In this task, you are supposed to talk in pairs. You are going to imagine that you are in a foreign country. Answer the following question. How would you feel and what would you do if the following things happened to you? As you can see here, we have 5 imaginary situations. Let's read the situations together. You go to a restaurant and you don't understand the menu or the waiter. Someone offers you something to eat, but you can't eat it. You lose your wallet on the underground. You need to communicate, but can't speak the language. You get lost while exploring the city center. Now, please pause the video and try to think how you are going to react in the following situations. Let's do the first situation together. You go to a restaurant and you don't understand the menu or the waiter. How would you feel if you didn't understand the menu? I'd feel annoyed. What would you do? I'd ask the waiter to explain it to me. The second situation, someone offers you something to eat, but you can't eat it. How would you feel if you were offered something you couldn't eat? I would be worried. What would you do? I'd explain why I couldn't eat it. Situation number 3, you lose your wallet on the underground. How would you feel if you lost your wallet on the underground? I'd be upset. What would you do? I'd report the loss of my wallet to the police. Here we are going to read the suggested answer for this situation. You need to communicate but can't speak the language. How would you feel if you needed to communicate but couldn't speak the language? I'd feel helpless. What would you do? I'd try to find someone who could speak my language. The suggested answer for this situation, you get lost while exploring the city center. How would you feel if you got lost while exploring the city center? I'd feel adventurous. What would you do? I'd try to find my way back. Now let's move to the second part of our lesson today. It's on your students' book page 108, Exercise 1, Vocabulary. Before we start the exercise, let's answer the following question. What's an idiom? An idiom is a group of words whose meaning is different from the meaning of each individual word. Here, in this lesson, we have 6 idioms. Now, let's recognize the meaning of each one of them individually. Have you ever seen this plant before? This is what we call beetroot. As you can see, it has a very bright red color. So when someone is as red as a beetroot, this is because he is embarrassed. So as red as a beetroot means to be embarrassed that your face turns red. Sometimes we see something or hear something that we can't believe. So when you say that you don't believe your eyes or ears, this means that you find a piece of news hard to believe even though you may see or hear it. What would you say if somebody made you very angry and upset? You can use this expression, drive somebody up the wall. It means to upset somebody or make them feel angry. Sometimes we feel extremely embarrassed because we did something wrong. In this situation, we can use the following expression, make a fool of yourself. It means to be embarrassed as a result of a mistake. When something surprises you and you feel frightened, you can use the following idiom, nearly jump out of your skin. So we use it to express that somebody is very frightened. Sometimes we feel extremely embarrassed that we want to disappear. When you face a situation like this, you can use the following idiom, want the underground to open up and swallow you. This means to find something very embarrassing that you want to disappear. Now let's read the tasks together. 1. Vocabulary. Read the sentences below and decide what the idioms in bold express. Do the people feel shocked, embarrassed, or annoyed? The first sentence. When I realized I had introduced my boss with a wrong name, I went as red as a beetroot. Number 2. Linda couldn't believe her eyes when she waved at the monkey and it waved back. Number 3. My neighbor keeps throwing rubbish in my garden and it's driving me up the wall. Number 4. I didn't enter the competition because I wasn't prepared and I knew I would make a fool of myself. Number 5. When the phone rang in the middle of the night, I nearly jumped out of my skin. Number 6. I fell flat on my face in the middle of the square. I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. Now, please pause the video and try to answer the question. Remember that for each sentence, you need to describe the feeling of the people, shocked, embarrassed, or annoyed. Now let's check the answers together. For the first sentence, when I realized I had introduced my boss with the wrong name, I went as red as a beetroot. The expression here shows that this person feels embarrassed. The second sentence, Linda couldn't believe her eyes when she waved at the monkey and it waved back. This expression here shows that this person feels shocked. Number 3. My neighbor keeps throwing rubbish in my garden and it's driving me up the wall. This expression shows that this person feels annoyed. Number 4. I didn't enter the competition because I wasn't prepared and I knew I would make a fool of myself. This expression here shows that this person is embarrassed. Number 5. When the phone rang in the middle of the night, I nearly jumped out of my skin. This situation here shows that this person is shocked. Number 6. I fell flat on my face in the middle of the square. I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. This situation shows that the person is embarrassed. Now let's move to workbook page 110 in order to practice the idioms that we have learned. In this exercise, you are asked to match these two parts in order to make meaningful sentences. First, let's read the two parts together. Number 1. When I spilled coffee on my boss, I wanted the ground to open up. 2. When I saw the snake, I nearly jumped. 3. I couldn't believe. 4. That loud noise from outside is driving me. 5. I made a fool of. 6. I went as red as. The second part. A. Myself when I fell flat on my face in front of everyone. B. My ears when I heard my name on television. C. And swallow me. D. A beetroot when I broke a plate at my friend's house. E. Up the wall. F. Out of my skin. Now, after reading, let's do the first one together. When I spilled coffee on my boss, I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. The correct answer here is C. Why? Because the idiom here is I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. Pause the video. Yeah. Now let's check the answers together. Number 2. When I saw the snake, I nearly jumped out of my skin. This idiom can be used if you feel shocked. Number 3. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard my name on television. This one is also used when you feel shocked. Number 4. That loud noise from outside is driving me up the wall. We use this idiom when you feel annoyed. Number 5. I made a fool of myself when I fell flat on my face in front of everyone. This idiom is used when you are embarrassed. Number 6. I went as red as a beetroot when I broke a plate at my friend's house. This idiom is used also when you are embarrassed. Thank you very much, my dear students. I wish you all the best of luck. Study hard and keep safe.